The mascot you see here has a disturbing backstory. Hello there, internet dwellers. My name is Baz and welcome back to the channel. Today we are checking out Anomaly. Anomaly is a creator known for their one-off stories, very creative in each of their stories told, and also there's a recurring series that's happening with The Real and Babylon, but this is one of those one-off stories. It's a story about a demonic entity and how it came to be, and we're going to learn all about it in this video. If you guys do enjoy this, be sure to go subscribe to Anomaly down below. Give them watch time, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We're going to jump straight into the video. Okay, so this is a demonic mascot by Anomaly. It happened in Mexico in the 90s. A man achieved enormous success with his children's entertainment venue, but something was very wrong. And it was discovered years later. Let's jump into this. Okay.
The renowned Mexican establishment, Huequitos del Pachi, was a well-known entertainment center in the
Give me a sec, guys. Just gonna mess with the captions here.
city of Tampico until 1999.
Okay.
It had been operating since 1987, becoming a significant attraction for tourists and providing entertainment for both children and adults. Founded by Luis Enriquez Gomez, better known as Don Luchito, a man who had spent a significant part of his adolescence and adulthood in the United States, working in various fast food and children's entertainment establishments. During his time there, he accumulated enough money to return to his native Mexico and start his own business.
Okay, so he was in America, getting money from these children establishments, getting his money up, and then decided to return back to Mexico to open up his own thing.
This venture began as a simple inflatable game stand beside a park.
Okay.
The unique circuit of games became a trademark of his creativity. Inspired by the American entertainment system, he offered unforgettable experiences, encouraging users to return repeatedly.
All it takes is one pin, guys. One pin and this whole thing's over. Your venture's gone.
The business became a resounding success, fueled by savings and profits in his hometown, Tampico, allowing him to open a store in an outdoor shopping area.
Okay.
Thus, Huequitos del Pachi was born, named after his grandfather's nickname, who had encouraged him to seek a better future outside his country. The subsequent years were immensely successful for Luis.
Look at that
Enriquez
mustache,
Gomez.
man.
His success allowed him to hire more staff.
That is very 80s. Is it? Yeah, very 80s look.
Not
isn't
only
it,
for machinery maintenance and cleanliness, but also to provide the best service to attendees, both parents and children. Luis had the idea to contact a friend he had made during his stay in the United States, who worked in the management of an entertainment venue in Tampa.
Interesting.
This friend had achieved success with the popular Oso Benito, a character symbolizing their games and attractions. Luis brought the Oso Benito to Mexico, aiming to replicate the success and make it a figure and symbol of his growing business.
So he took the mascot of his friend's thing and put it onto his own business, obviously with his blessing.
As expected, the bear was a huge hit among Mexican children, and the establishment became even more famous.
Yeah.
Luis invited his American friend, who was extremely pleased with the warm reception of his creation, the bear.
Nice.
However, the American found it curious that these mascots worked much harder than his in Tampa, and their constant energy was unexpected. He learned that part of the success was due to the physical preparation and athletic state of those beneath the costumes.
Okay, so he brought the mascot over to his own establishment and put some athletic, drugged up people in the suits.
If mascots were the key to success, Luis needed the most prepared individuals to manage them. Luis responded with a friendly smile, mentioning that he also had a secret, but it was something he couldn't reveal. It was a promise he had made to his grandfather, and besides, it was something an American would never understand, as some things in Mexico functioned in a way that only they could grasp the power of these secrets.
Right, okay. That was a hard one to wrap my head around.
Years passed, and nothing seemed to stop Luis except one thing, a heart attack.
Well, yeah, that's
over time,
that'll do
his
it.
unhealthy eating habits coupled with financial gain
unhealthy. This guy was just eating pizza
and
constantly.
new opportunities, led to a life of excess, ultimately leading to his passing in 1998.
Damn.
The
That's
impact
a shame, man.
of the news was so profound that his family couldn't sustain the business. Despite the substantial profits, Luis had accumulated debts that made it impossible to keep the establishment running.
Damn,
In
that's a
February
shame.
1999, Huequitos del Pachi went bankrupt, and the facilities
interesting.
were abandoned, with some nearly dismantled. The bankruptcy was so sudden and complete that it surprised many.
Well, this is familiar. Kind of.
Derek, Luis's American friend, rushed for the funeral and, months later, as a gesture of solidarity with the family, decided to buy the establishment so they could financially support themselves.
That's a very nice
This seemed
gesture.
like a selfless act and a result of the good friendship they had formed, but Derek had another intention. Firstly, he wanted to uncover the secret behind Luis's idea's success, and what better way than to have his friend's establishment to investigate thoroughly.
Wow,
Secondly,
okay.
he aimed to review the records of each employee and understand why the Oso Bonito had been so popular, not necessarily due to its cartoonish appearance but because of those who wore the costume.
Oh dear.
Strange surprises awaited him the day he decided to photograph the interior and delve into the workers' records.
Oh god.
Since the interior gave off a very peculiar vibe, there was a heaviness in the air.
That's a liminal
and the
space right
attractions
there.
were aesthetically horrendous.
Yeah.
Derek couldn't believe that games of such
What is this? This does not look fun at all. Telling me it's just inflatable
poor
land.
taste and design could succeed. The interior of the place sometimes felt like a maze, easy to get lost in.
What is
full of
that?
doors and corridors that led
This is some
nowhere.
Poppy Playtime shit.
Some areas were neither familiar nor child-friendly. Extensive rooms resembling empty warehouses, lost in the shadows of the basement.
How big was this
The feeling of
place?
being lost in a building that hadn't been in use long enough to end up in that state troubled him.
Yeah. That's... What? How big is this place, man? I thought it was like a little shop outside a shopping mall. This guy's got his,
During
like,
his extensive
sister location
exploration of the
underground.
interior, he found several statues that startled him when he encountered them in dark hallways.
Jeez!
Hideous figures of the Oso Bonito seemed to have been petrified, like strange statues throughout the establishment.
Oh my god!
It was inexplicable that Luis had used such figures to entertain families.
Entertain families with that thing.
Even too explicit.
Like traumatized families. My god, you bring your child here, that's it. 20 years of therapy needed at least.
In terms of visceral details, turned these figures into almost demonic beings.
Why? That's not even cute.
As Derek examined them, he noticed that they smelled somewhat strange. Their pronounced mouths emitted moisture and a warm breeze.
Oh god, that
The
someone was
curious
in
teeth
there.
seemed so real that they were equally as hard as human dentures, perhaps even more durable.
Damn.
Despite being evidently petrified,
Oh my
it
god.
seemed that they
So this place was abandoned, basically, just left there to rot. How the hell did this happen? It was 1999, was it not? It was 1 year after the place went bankrupt.
occasionally breathed and exhaled vapor in areas that were too cold. In the following weeks, Derek decided to get rid of all these figures, as
Damn.
well as most of the inflatable games and decorations in the establishment. He
Man.
didn't even take them to
Imagine
the
the
United
smell.
States to replicate their success. His intention was to burn down all the facilities, ensuring that no one would ever speak of Huequitos del Pachi again.
My god.
Luis's family accused Derek several times of calling them agitated, demanding explanations for something they couldn't comprehend, not just because of language differences, but they had no clue about the altar in basement room 4 that he kept mentioning.
Wait, what? An altar in the basement?
One day, without warning, the American men returned to his country, giving orders to demolish the establishment and filing a lawsuit prohibiting Luis's family from approaching the remains of the building or him.
Jeez.
Everyone was truly stunned and incredibly puzzled by Derek's behavior, who had become somewhat paranoid about the entertainment venue. Romilia, Luis's widow, insisted that the American was too affected by the tragedy and the charisma of her deceased husband, causing him to lose his mind.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
They heard nothing
Or something like, he breathed in something down there and it was slowly sending him insane.
more from Derek until years later when his son, bearing the same name, wrote them a letter and attached a photograph.
Oh, God.
The letter said, "I apologize sincerely on behalf of my father. I know the events surrounding Luis's last days were very tough for you, and I am not one to speak of it. I also understand that you must have been very offended by my father's words and his strange behavior.
Guy acted like a freak.
Probably would have wanted to remember your beloved Luis by keeping the family business, and unfortunately, my father took it upon himself to bury that wish.
Probably for good reason,
But I
though.
need to tell you that he didn't do that without powerful and genuinely concerning reasons. I don't know how well you knew Luis, if you were aware of the deepest and most private aspects of his life, because everyone hides things.
Oh dear, what
I
was he
can't deny
hiding?
it.
Was he a furry?
Having secrets is not a problem for any family, but what he hid beneath his entertainment venue, I don't know if it's something you were aware of. I just leave you with the photograph my father took of basement room 4.
Okay.
I advise you to take some time before looking at it. It could be too intense. But I know it's good for you to know, both for Luis's memory and your own safety.
Good lord, what is it?
My sincerest affection."
What was it?
The
What the
photograph
hell?
in question showed
That's
a
just
strange altar located precisely
That's just a oiled up man.
in one of the rooms in the underground storage of the venue.
That's just an Oompa Loompa. Covered in like grease.
Apparently, Luis had preserved the remains of his dying father there and offered them in a bizarre sacrifice to some black magic gods.
Okay, well I wasn't expecting that.
The altar
He had his freaking grandfather or father
was
taxidermied.
full of
Hang on, go back.
The altar was full of letters with prompts to some black the remains of his dying father there and offered.
His father. Interesting.
Success had been bargained for a flesh sacrifice. Luis had offered his dying father to the gods as a currency for the total success of his business.
Jeez.
In that place, there were also dozens of small bear-shaped dolls, containing the same spices as voodoo dolls, along with precise instructions regarding the tasks they were supposed to fulfill.
Oh god. So let me guess, I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that the people inside these suits weren't people at all. It was just the actual suit themselves coming to life.
That's why the mascots never rested and possessed athletic capabilities. They had never been human beings but true demonic entities with a life of their own, blindly obeying Luis.
Oh my god, that's crazy. So they don't have a life
The
now?
years passed, and Luis's family never wanted to touch the subject again after learning about the horrible demonic pacts.
Yeah, no shit. I
With
wouldn't
the
want.
little money they had left, they decided to hire a debris removal company to take away everything inside the establishment, including the Oso Bonito mascots and the figure from basement room 4.
Okay, where did
Since
they put
the
them?
family completely disassociated themselves from this, it was never known if they removed everything from the interior to be disposed of in a landfill.
Oh god.
However, in 2009, another Mexican man residing in the United States mentioned that he had worked in waste removal in the city of Tampico. He stated that, on many occasions, they sold certain items that might be valuable in the black market or directly to collectors.
Jeez.
That was the case for a Oso Bonito costume, which ended up in an antique shop in Baltimore.
An antique shop.
The
Burn
shop
that thing.
belonged to the
That's
Hoswater
Almo on
family,
crack.
who specialized in trading cursed objects and used their warehouse as an attraction for paranormal tours.
That is not a good idea.
Attendees often spoke of the strange bear that would appear in the wardrobe.
So it's like what's that ghost hunting family called? You know what I'm on about from is it the Warren family? Ed and Lorraine Warren. They're real life people who do something similar to this. They've got like a room full of all the possessed things that they
However,
took.
that story
dealt
could
with.
never be truly verified. Perhaps it was part of the many myths surrounding that house, which often turned out to be the most scandalous scams and cheap tricks to make some extra money.
Interesting. Well, it's going to be like a Chucky doll in there now. So if they are scamming people, they're going to get their comeuppance. That freaking Oso Benito or whatever it's called. What was it called? Oso Benito is going to come out and just stab you to death. Well, you see those teeth? Look at those teeth. Despite a lack of clear evidence, the encounter with the Oso Benito in this somewhat gelatinous form, subsisting in a liquid that is likely expelled by its own body, could potentially explain the strange flooding that the Jueguitos del Pachi experienced in 1995. During this incident, one of the bathroom pipes burst due to a violent seepage of a somewhat reddish water, keeping the establishment closed for 3 weeks because of the difficulty in removing the colour from the walls and floor. Oh, man. What even is that? Where is that? Oh my god. Someone had a freaking curry and just exploded on that toilet. Well, there we go, guys. It's different from what we usually react to. But Anomaly does these like one-off kind of videos every now and then alongside the series that they make, like at Babylon and The Real. And all of them are just, they're mind-bending. The originality in these stories, obviously you could say this is like FNAF inspired with the whole Mascots. Anything to do with Mascots now is going to be directly related to FNAF because it's just had that much of an impact on the Mascot horror. But I would say it's pretty original, this one. So a guy found success, and the reason he found success was because he sacrificed his dying father to the gods so that he could have success. Then he got Oso Benito inside his establishment, but he had voodoo dolls, so people thought they were mascots, but they weren't mascots. They were demonic entities following what they were told to do. That is creepy. Imagine that. Imagine learning that Chuck E. Cheese was just operated through pure demons. That's basically what this was. Well, there we go, guys. That was Anomaly. This is a short video today, but I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, why not leave a like rating? Go subscribe to Anomaly down below. Give them support, watch time, all that good stuff. They have loads of these like one-off videos and series that you guys should go check out. Really good creator. But if you enjoyed my reaction, why not leave a like rating, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully, I'll see you on the next video. Take care, guys.